All right, good evening. And oh, wait a second. There's the man. Test, test, test. Can we hear him? All right, he's still figuring stuff out. He'll add himself. All right, anyway, it is time to review the Orville. And what episode are we reviewing? That, of course, is Orville Season 2, Episode 11, Lasting Impressions, which is, as far as I'm aware, Adam's absolutely favorite episode ever. And we're going to find out. There's Dave. Come on, Dave. Speak for people.
Can you hear me?
No. All right, technical.
What?
Oh, it's like, yeah. It's like static.
And now we can't hear you at all.
Damn you, technical difficulties. Anyway, well. Oh.
Could we not have
Oh,
waited?
there he is. There he is. All right.
Was it just not plugged in? Is that what's?
Yep. I think that's it. It just came loose or something. Because now you sound perfect.
You can hear me then. Okay.
We can hear
Great microphone. You sound so much better.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
No,
All
you
right.
can't hear a slight, faint ring somewhere in the distance.
I don't think so.
I never could, Dave.
So could I? I just said you could.
All right, we're getting off the rails here. Anyway, welcome to the Orville rewatch series, and of course, we are, as I said, looking at season 2, episode 11, lasting impressions. And of course, I can't do this on my own. I have to do it with people who actually are far more competent than me. And of course, the first person to talk to is the mustache that never ends. That, of course, is Kevin Millard.
Hello, Jody. I can't wait. This episode is something.
Is something. All right, fair enough. And of course, the man who may have had a little bit of technical problems this minute ago, but you know what? We're glad he's with us now. And of course, that is the producer extraordinaire. Of course, that is Dave Mater.
Glad to be here, Jody. I hope you can hear me.
I'm glad to hear you, Dave. Nothing sounds sweeter to my ears. All right, and of course, who could forget the man? You know what?
The myth.
Well, no, he's not a myth. He's real.
He's real. He's a real man.
He's a real man.
He's alive now, not 350 years ago.
Some might say that he should have been the next president of the U.S., but I don't believe he was qualified. Anyway, that, of course, is Adam Woodward.
Hey, guys. So, Jody, you referenced that I love this episode. It is a top-rated episode, but
It is, and I'm not totally sure why. But anyway, we'll get into it.
Because
of
smoking
course,
is cool.
what's that?
Because smoking is cool.
That was the best part of the whole episode.
And Gordon singing.
But we'll see. Everybody has their opinions on this one, and it is a very high-rated episode. According to IMDb, it's like one of the highest rated of the season. So I don't know, gentlemen. But anyway, what are our original thoughts?
I like this episode.
All right. All right, Dave. Well, tell us why.
Well, I don't know. It's an enjoyable episode of TV. Like I think like the storyline is interesting. I think that what is the problem exactly?
It's not a problem, Dave. My problem, for me, it was a curve. I really like the beginning. I like the little special appearance that we get with somebody. We'll get there in a minute, I'm sure. Came down a little bit, and then it did come back. But
Is the middle? You mean is it too slow in the middle or?
it's still in the middle. But I'm also just like I just feel like I know the role of Gordon in the show. I just find him so irritating. He's just not
I think the other characters also find him irritating.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I love when they say, "Oh, we got to go and talk about this in the morning." Like, you know.
Talk about
yes.
what? Yeah.
What they just went through.
Kevin, what are your thoughts?
I'm with you, Dave. It's an enjoyable episode. It's just meh. Like it's
Know what? It's coming off of what we just watched,
right.
as well. Like those were great episodes, and I think that
But like it's fun. Like it's fine.
it's fine.
Yeah, I don't think it's a like absolutely like train wreck of an episode like Minefield, for instance. But it's not a terrible episode. But I think I think Adam has it right there. Is we've had the last couple episodes have been stellar in my opinion, and then we have this episode that is just kind of it's more down tempo. It's very. It's a
smaller story.
It is a smaller story. Yeah.
They blew their budgets on their last episodes, and they needed to do a really.
That could be it. Yeah.
So yeah, like I guess like if what I'm hearing is like we got this great storyline with the Kalons, and then kind of the aftermath of some of that in the previous episode. Now it's like Gordon's on the holodeck and Bortus is smoking, and like we're kind of back to the old shtick again. And
the old.
This is North Star in the middle of the Zindi.
Right. Okay.
I wouldn't say. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but let's.
Not as great as North Star. Is it?
Well,
the only thing great about North Star is you guys doing the radio theater. That's the only thing good about that episode.
It was my favorite version of the show ever.
Yes, I would imagine. I haven't even seen it, but I guarantee you I'll like it better than the actual episode.
Yeah, Kevin was a great bad guy for it.
Was he? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Did he do any sort of voice for it? Or?
No, he was just his voice.
Not really.
Just Kevin's maniacal voice of being
His villain voice, which is very similar.
which
to his
is
hero
essentially
voice.
the same voice.
Him yelling at Dave across the ice on the curling rink.
Yeah, throw your shot. So,
All right. Well, shall we get into it, gentlemen?
yep.
All right, let's do it. All right, so we open up the episode. We see a whole bunch of relics. I guess.
Great start.
Yeah.
Time
yeah,
capsule.
Time capsule. They open this time capsule. There's a Snickers bar in there. There's cigarettes without a carton for some strange reason. Like they just took like half a deck out of it and threw it in. I guess.
Yeah, no, the packaging does not go.
The packaging didn't make it, but
Philip Morris didn't pay for the the exposure on this.
I guess not.
Also,
but 5 hour energy
smokes are
did.
expensive. They're only gonna have half a pack.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, that reminds me. We do have a sponsor. It is water, as paid for by Jaemeel Robinson. This episode brought to you by water. Drink water, very healthy for you, and makes you feel alert and awake in the morning and at night.
And the
all the
sponsor
time.
we don't have is Coke, which is what I'm drinking. All right.
But that has water in it, Jody.
Mm.
Did you know that? And so with the and it's right
Let me
there
double
on the-
check. Oh,
It is in
you're
this-
right. It is the first ingredient in Coke.
It is the first ingredient in many beverages.
Oh,
So
well,
it's
there you go.
It's
We gotta
great.
get like some sort of like ad we can put up with Jaemeel. That would be.
Jaemeel actually did pay me to say.
Did he pay you to say that?
Yeah.
How much did he pay you? Is that
$70 to endorse water?
$70. All right.
I don't lie.
We're
Yeah.
making money. We're making bank, boys.
We're making bank now.
All right. Anyway. And there's like flip flops and like double stuffed Oreos.
An X-Men T-shirt and basically anything Fox at the time had IP rights to, or
including a copy of Minecraft for the Xbox 360. Not totally sure why, and various other things.
I would love to actually know what like a time capsule does get put into it, if it's like this is pretty accurate for what you would see, because I don't think I've ever participated in one, but I feel like there's usually like a ton of letters and like other pieces of art that would go in here.
We did one when I was in
I'd throw
grade
in my
school.
toothpaste or my sunscreen, right? Like,
No.
Yeah, like what was that about? Like, do you think they just like they're like, oh, we don't have enough things on this table, that just go grab stuff from around like the bathrooms and stuff? And
Oh, hey, did you show Davin the
Trash.
shirt there?
No, I haven't. Well, no, I haven't mentioned this to him. No, yet. I didn't know. I didn't notice this when I watched the episode that there's an X-Men shirt, but it makes sense that
I think that's actually for Future Past. By the looks of it. Yeah.
I think it's from the X-Men Evolution show. But I can't really tell.
No, because you can see like past right here is written, but I could be wrong.
They're on
All
right
right.
now. They're on as we speak. So
Oh, are they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, anyway, we see the entire crew, and they're all looking over these things, and we also have a doctor, which I didn't catch his name.
Sherman.
Tuvok.
Tuvok the doctor, playing by Sherman, I guess is his name.
Tim Russ.
Yeah. So we see she picks up a Yankees hat. That's Yankees, right? I don't know baseball.
Mhm.
Is that Yankees? All right.
You don't know Yankees? Yes, it's Yankees. Come on.
Okay. Well, I don't. I don't follow baseball because I'm a man.
I'm amazed.
but
by
anyway.
this. I'm amazed. Like Kevin, you know the Yankees, right? You're who? I'm trying to figure out who knows less about baseball, Kevin or Jody. It's gonna be.
It's probably me.
almost definitely Jody. My mom is like a super fan of baseball, and I grew up around baseball.
All right.
All right. But the best thing is, obviously, the Mauchlin's eye looks directly at the cigarettes and grabs them. He's like, "What is this?" And then, of course,
Pleasing smell.
yeah, we see this is clearly an iPhone. I'm guessing an iPhone 7, somewhere around there, maybe an 8. And they have this really terrible cover on it. But anyway, Gordon picks that up, and he's intrigued by this little brick that they apparently don't have in the future. But anyway, it is definitely an iPhone. So anyway, we see them. They're now in the engineering area, and they're trying to access this thing. They want to see if they can get the messages and stuff off of it. We see Yafet's there as well. And of course, they're trying to access. He figures it out. They get onto it, and apparently it's Saturday, March 21st. I don't know what year, but I'm guessing 2017.
No, I think it's meant to be the current year of 2421.
There is no way this thing can connect to some sort of cellular network to get the exact time and date right now.
It can connect with the Orville's computers.
Oh, well, maybe. Yeah, maybe it's synced that way. Maybe they have some sort of quasi thing.
Because it is March in the Orville timeline that in terms of where we are.
Yes, that's true. Actually, yeah. Maybe.
2421 is the year.
I find it hard to believe though that this iPhone sitting there for that many years could still have a full battery. There is no damn way.
But he said when he got it actually
would never work.
When he got it working, he upgraded the power that it would never need a charge for 10 years now.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
The one thing that threw me off in this scene was that Yafet says, "Try turning it on and turning it back on again" when they're trying to get it going. I'm like, and he holds the two buttons on the side. I'm like, they wouldn't know that. Like, or maybe they can just look up how to operate this.
Look up a manual.
Yeah, but anyway, that's a manual.
And the best thing is, this is not the iPhone interface for the messages.
No,
at all.
Not in 2015, and not now.
Which
yeah.
I'm fairly certain there's a reason for that. I would imagine it's a copyright thing.
Apple is a very litigious company.
Yeah, they're right up there with Nintendo for trying to.
But you're okay to say iPhone in the dialogue, right?
Yeah, you can say iPhone in the dialogue, though. Apparently, yeah. Mm-hmm. But anyway, they end up coming across pictures, and it turns out there's a video here, and it's this girl. What was her name?
Laura,
that's right. And Laura is basically saying, "Oh, hi, I'm, future people. I'm putting this in a time capsule, blah, blah, blah." And at this point, we see Gordon is very intrigued with her. And then, of course, we get it
right away.
Yeah, which is bizarre. But anyway, and we see him, and he's now going through all of her photos, which I think is that's a very personal thing. I don't think you'd think she would have wiped a lot of that stuff, but what can you do? But anyway,
she put it in a time capsule.
She said,
with all of her messages still in there.
Yes, she said that later in the episode. She said, "I left all my messages because I'm long dead. I've left all my messages and emails, so you know who I am."
Ah, okay, fair enough. But anyway, we see her. She's, I guess, probably Italy or something, and she's got pigeons on her for some strange reason. But anyway, we see our guest star, which of course is Tim Ross, who obviously is from Voyager. So nice to see
you. Lack mental discipline.
That I do completely. But anyway, so we see, and they're going through all these messages. I guess this is a message with Katie. What does it say? I'm sorry, I would have been able to cover you on Saturday, blah, blah, blah. So I guess it's a message with a coworker.
My favorite part here is he's like, "See, they use such a different language. Instead of saying wireless technology forum, they go WTF." They're like, it's like a different language.
Yeah.
And I love, he's like, "It's amazing that we can figure that out." Like,
yeah, and you didn't.
And you did.
Yeah, screwed it up.
You screwed it up. You didn't.
You require more training.
Indeed. But anyway, so we see Gordon and Gordon. Basically, they're going to be arranging to have all this shipped. And I guess Gordon decides he's going to quickly make a copy of the phone. Probably was looking for dirty pictures, but, they didn't bother to go that far.
She says this time capsule came from Sarasota Springs, New York, I think we're told as well in this dialogue.
Yes.
Or
I remember
part.
Like that, yeah.
And she also says that every guy in Sarasota Springs is a loser later on in the bar or something like that.
Sorry to anybody who's watching right now.
Yeah, if anyone's sorry. which
but,
is a
we
little
don't
bit
think
north
they're
of
losing.
Albany, I guess.
Is it?
Not far
Oh,
from
okay.
here.
All right. So we end up back in Portis's quarters, and him and what's his name?
Clyde.
Clyden. There we go. See, this is why you guys are here. But anyway, well, that and I'm just not competent. But anyway, he's replicating a cigarette.
What is
And-
it? It's called a cigarette. I find this whole bit hilarious. I don't know.
Look at Clyden's face.
Yeah,
And he's just so excited, but he goes for the eat.
he
So
eats
literally
it.
eats it first.
Why did you do that?
Why did you do that? Because I
was-
wanted to taste
I
it.
was curious, and like if anybody could eat a cigarette, it's a Mocklin.
Mocklin, yeah.
Well, they can eat anything, really. So then they end up duplicating 2 more. And at this point, now, okay, he's lighting this with a phaser.
yes, I did.
I don't
pick
know
up
if you
on
caught that, but
that.
he's
No,
lighting
I
it with a
did.
phaser. He literally like turns on the phaser for a second,
Well-
lights the cigarette, and then turns it off.
You're right.
They wouldn't have lighters, right? Like what?
Yeah, well, he could have replicated a light.
You could have replicated a lighter, I suppose, too, or any
Yeah.
kind of, But
This phaser thing doesn't seem like a great idea, especially when you're pointing it towards Clyden. And what happens if you just hit that trigger a little too hard? Like, do you blow that guy's head right off?
they're
or
badass. Those Mocklins, they
they
mess
really
with them.
are. They're like, I'll light it with this phaser, no big deal. But anyway, so the 2 of them are clearly enjoying the cigarette.
Did you ever
It
smoke,
Gives me
Adam?
the tingles.
Adam, did you ever smoke?
Not really.
Not, but you tried it, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I smoked for like 10 years or more, I think. Maybe it was closer to 15. And like I don't know, like this, there's a bit where he's like, it's most pleasing and you're the aroma, and there's like some things I do miss about it, but
Yep.
yeah.
Me too. But yeah, so anyway, so the 2 of them are enjoying the cigarette, and then they decide they're going to make
500 cigarettes. And
be
Jane said that
500.
didn't look like 500, but maybe it is.
We're
We're not gonna count, I guess.
Somebody else analyze this. I don't have time for it.
Sam,
Sam, count if
Sam,
there's 500. first.
Sam, here, take a screenshot, Sam. We're gonna need you on this one. Count them up, buddy. All right. Anyway. All right. So anyway, we're now in the holodeck-ish thing, and it looks like Gordon's trying to replicate this lady's life essentially with the data from the phone. I like
Do
the
you guys-
fact that
I have a question for you guys. Do
Sure.
you ever notice that nobody seems to use the holodeck except Gordon? And it's
he's a
always
very
empty.
big fan of it. Yeah,
Well,
It's
and
always
Bordas.
empty.
and Bordas
figure,
because
like-
Bordas has his sex den, and then
You
you
figure
also
that
have
it
Claire
would
and
always
Isaac.
be used. Like during downtime, if somebody would want to go in there for something, but it's always available.
Well, we don't know if there's more than one. Like they've never really explained if there's more than one. So
I just-
How many exactly? Yeah,
Yeah.
like they haven't done a ton of holodeck episodes in general, but yeah, it's
which
Gordon
is good
seems-
because I think the holodeck is a little overused in next gen.
They have Brandon Braga is like working on this show, and he's like, we did too many holodeck episodes on Voyager.
Yeah,
We
we're
should-
only
we
doing
should-
like 2.
we really need to cut back here.
Well, I guess the holodeck hasn't turned against them either, so yet.
But I
Give
thought
it
what
time.
was interesting is he puts the phone down and the computer's like, I can't access this. I don't know what device it is. And he goes, it's a cellular phone. And she's like, okay, now I know what it is. It's like, I don't think computers work that way.
It's a phone. It's like, okay.
Oh, it's a phone. Well, then I know how to hack that thing. But anyway, so he ends up manifesting her world based on the data that's on this phone. And he ends up in her apartment, and I guess it's after a breakup with her long-term boyfriend, I guess.
Greg.
Greg.
Right.
Damn that Greg. But anyway, and he shows up and like all these people, I guess it's like a housewarming party kind of thing. And he ends up coming across her and her friend. And she's like, yeah, I don't know who you are. And he's like, oh, I'm, what's his name's?
Friend of Lorenzo.
Friend of Lorenzo. Yeah. And she's like, oh, yeah. And then he's like, yeah, my name's Gordon. And she's like, oh, yeah, Gordon. Like, she totally like has no idea who he is and all that. But, she's playing it. Now,
Jody, there's 464 cigarettes in that pot.
did you just count them?
No.
Did you seriously just count them?
No.
Who counted them?
I looked it up. We're good.
Oh, you looked it up. Okay. Well, you are the fun fact man. But anyway,
Sam, relax. It's okay.
yeah, Sam, you're off now. Don't worry about it.
I think you better double check.
Yeah, you know what, Sam? Double check. All right. Anyway, if Adam's wrong, you get his spot. All right. Anyway. So anyway, she's like, the two of them talk for a minute, and then she offers him a beer. Now, I didn't catch it, but I don't know if you guys noticed, but that beer came with no cap on it out of the fridge.
No, I didn't catch that.
It did. Now, I don't know if, I guess maybe she took it off while she was like behind the door. I don't know, but either way, it came off. So it was kind of odd.
It did occur to me though that I was like because they always talk about how weird the past is, that they have this and that, and like in the future, I have this feeling like refrigerators are no longer really a thing. Because,
they don't seem to be. Yeah, we never see any, right? Like
right, like when
because
people
they
have
just replicate or everything, right? So.
Even the people who live in houses, you never really see one or anything.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, the two of them converse about how like she just had a breakup and this is her place, blah blah blah, and he kind of hits on her a bit, I guess, and then she kind of essentially invites him over for I think it's next Tuesday or something like that.
There's also the whole exchange about what he's wearing and whether he's a NASCAR driver or
race car driver,
which I think he looks more like a race car driver than he does like he's wearing pajamas.
I don't know where the pajamas thing came up. I thought that was kind of silly.
Then when he says he's a pilot, like it kind of makes the uniform make sense,
right?
Yeah, for commercial airlines apparently.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he gets out of the thing, and at this point, he's back talking to the man and Lamar. I said LeMan. What do you want?
You said the man.
Oh, did I say the man? Yeah. I meant La Man.
La Man. He looks like La Man.
La Man. But anyway, yes, Lamar. And basically, he's like, oh, this girl's fantastic, blah blah blah, and Lamar's like, dude, you really got to get laid.
Yeah,
seriously.
Dude, AI. She's AI.
Yeah, she's AI. Like, she's nobody. Like,
she's been dead for 350 years.
Yeah.
Can you guys say Minuet or Leah Brahms?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's closer to a Leah Brahms because it's based on a real person, but it's
well, and if I remember, they time travel later on in season 3, and actually he comes across her.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I was trying to remember if it was like because they do bring her back, and he finds her and whatever, and like that's got a whole other thing. But yeah, it's more like Leah Brahms. It also reminded me of like the holodeck episode on Voyager with the Irish man there. Especially when he's like delete Greg, and like it's like delete the wife.
Yeah,
from the simulation.
I was trying to see a date on this, but I couldn't get a date on it.
It's got to be 2015, right?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it actually has a date, though. Like, you know how newspapers normally have dates?
Yeah, it's
doesn't
clearly
have
a fake paper.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's probably the same one that they used in, like, Back to the
They
Future.
were on the verge of a major climate crisis. They didn't know Donald Trump would be the president. Etc.
These guys are going to hell, and, there's a... What was the article he was referring to? It was like...
teeth whitening.
They have a whole page. They have a whole page dedicated to teeth whitening. Yeah, which is probably an ad. But
if Davin was here, he would complain about how Seth MacFarlane's phosphorate white teeth are offensive. That's why there's so much teeth whitening out there. But I'm having conjecture.
All right, I don't know how to say that name, so I won't bother. But hello.
Hi.
All right.
Ethical.
What was it?
I think it's ethical.
Ethical? Okay. Well, ethical. Welcome. Anyway, they're going through this, and Kelly's looking at it as well. And then at this point, we see she gets called out. I don't think I got a shot of it, but she gets called by, what was it?
Tala
to the bridge.
Tala to the bridge. And then, she's on her way there, and she meets her, and she's like, yeah, we got a problem. And, you look over and you see, and it's Bortus smoking. Which I still think is funny. I don't know why this is as funny as it is, but it is.
Yeah, it's kind of his demeanor and how cash he is about it. Like later on with the gum, he's like, I'm told it helps with addiction. They're like, is it helping? It is not.
It is not. Yeah.
I
I
think those guys.
love that he even has the ashtray.
Right, yeah. He
Yeah,
stands up and he
yeah.
picks up the ashtray.
He's got the
and walks
ashtray and he's
away.
walking
I was
around the
dying.
bridge with it. Yeah.
Peter Macon's got pretty good comedic
He does.
like
yeah,
timing,
he does
I think.
for sure. And I like the fact that Kelly's like, yeah, you're almost done for the day anyway, right? Why don't you go take off? And he's like, are you sure? And she's like, oh yeah, I'm sure. And he's like, okay. He walks away. And she's like, yeah, we'll have a word with him about that. And then we see, and now he's in casual clothes and he's heading down to the.
I hate his shirt, by the way.
You know what? I thought he would, and I made sure I got a pretty good picture of the shirt, just so you could critique.
What is this? Is this a jacket? Is this a sweater? What is it?
He's
the
got
outer
a golf
shirt.
shirt.
Okay.
He's got like a suit jacket over it.
Yeah, I mean the gray piece.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, that's like a suit jacket kind of thing going on.
That is like a suit jacket. That's like suit jammas.
that's
It
more
is
like
like
that's
suit
more like
jammers.
yeah, suit jammas.
It is suit jammas. That's a good point. You might be onto something here, Kevin. But anyway, so he goes back into the holodeck, and now they're at the bar, and she's doing her little singing gig that she invited him to earlier. And this takes way too long. This whole scene takes forever. And
This is the middle. We're in
Okay,
the-
I'm okay with the music, and I get it's not
the music's
everybody's
fine.
style, but I'll say this: that like I have never walked into a bar and seen an act like this ever. I would be astounded if I walked into a bar and there happens to be like this beautiful woman played like a great song up on stage
with
and
a
like sort of
cellist.
with a cellist and like, you know, an acoustic bass, like nothing wrong with it. It's just like, it would be like if you were to walk into some random bar in Albany, which I guess is where this is. Yeah, I would just be like, you know,
And
you never
she plays it off as being some like little hole in the wall, you know, with crap drinks and food, but it's a nice place.
looks like
Yeah,
a nice
looks pretty
place,
bougie.
upscale. Yeah, bougie, yeah.
Looks good enough anyway. I think the reason why you haven't seen these, Dave, is because they don't have these type of acts in sex clubs. That would be my guess.
And I only go to sex clubs, so that's my problem.
Why would you go anywhere else?
I did grow up in Quebec, and they're everywhere. So
They don't have those type of acts in sex clubs and
yeah, Club Super Sex. Here we
Yeah.
come.
What's that from Eurotrip? I can't remember the name of the club, but it's like a Danish club or something. But anyway, so yeah, he's watching her. Clearly, he's engrossed in the performance. And at this point, she sees him, and she's like, "Oh, great!" And the two of them sit down and have a talk. I can't remember this conversation because, quite honestly, at this point, I was starting to fall asleep.
It's mostly about her, you know, like, well, they get on to a little bit about his life, the fact that his dad, you know, talk about her ex relationship.
His dad had the same name or something.
Same name. My dad's name's Greg. What does he do? He builds space stations. What? I mean, toy space stations
Toy
with
space- Little ones.
candy with nougat inside, like Kinder Surprise.
Anyway, yeah, it was. You know, it was certainly there. I guess they're trying to build the chemistry between the two characters. I get that, but
That
I
works.
think it works.
works.
I think they do have a lot of chemistry. These two.
I think they do. Yeah, for sure. But anyway, so that's kind of where that ends. And then at this point, what is he doing here?
He's tying in the phone. He's
That's
making
right.
the
He's
phone
making a
tie it
phone,
in.
and then he's going to tie it in so she can message him from the holodeck.
Right, but first he says, "Give me an old timey Earth phone," and it gives like rotary.
This one. Yeah. Which, for all the kids who are watching, we had to use these at one point.
I remember those. I'm just old enough.
yeah.
I'm like, that's the only thing.
I
with
remember
this.
that it would make for every.
I was
Who
never too
have
good
that?
at using them, but I.
And then the. You know that
And they
kind of
were
thing.
loud as hell.
They were. So anyway, they end up replicating another phone with a case on it, I guess, so Apple doesn't sue. But anyway, and this is pretty close to the interface of an iPhone, so I'm kind of,
But not quite, right? It's
not
like just-
quite.
Not
It's
quite.
almost there. The keyboard is, which I think they can probably do.
It
But
looks like
if we
the last BlackBerry Passport. Remember that one?
oh yes, the passport.
Oh, yeah.
It's passport was way wider though. But the
What
thing
is
that I
what does
find
that play
interesting-
symbol do up in the top right?
Yeah, I'm not totally sure.
What that would do?
Yeah, well, there's probably a dirty joke there, but I'm not going to go. The fact that he has Wi-Fi, though, I think is pretty impressive. So it's like I don't
That's
know.
the impressive part of all of this technology that like we could bring a person back from the dead.
That
basically.
in the 24th century or 23rd century, we have Wi-Fi access points on a starship. Yeah, that
And
is
2 bars.
4 gigahertz is still
still
going
working?
strong.
My wireless G connection still working great.
He's got 2 bars.
So. Anyway, he messages her and she's like, "Oh yeah, had fun. I can't wait to
Manana.
see you, manana,
Mañana.
manana." I guess that means tomorrow.
Spelt wrong, but yes.
Is it spelled wrong? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, the 4 of these guys are all having this kind of meeting about how they're going to ship the artifacts from this pod and all that. They're just kind of going through routine things, and then of course, Gordon shows up and he's like, "I really want you to meet her. You should come. It's going to be a game night. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and you guys can come, and it'll be fun." And they're all just kind of like, I like how Kelly is like, "I totally don't get what the hell you're saying here. Like, you want me to go to the holodeck and meet your fake girlfriend?" And like,
yeah, she's not real, right? Like,
yeah, she's not real, right? Yeah. So, but anyway, so all of them are like, Gordon finally leaves, and then all of them are just like, "Yeah, no, this is going to be interesting." And I can't remember what she says, but she says something pretty snarky, and I thought it was funny.
She says, "Is Gordon working too hard?" And then Kelly's like, "Gordon, never.
Gordon, no, never works too hard." I like the look on Mercer's face that was just like, no, he's not working too hard. So anyway, they all enter. First they go and deal with the Bortus issue.
Look how many butts are in the.
They got all these butts going on. They got, and at this point they've now replicated lighters. If you've noticed, there's a Zippo sitting there.
It's a Zippo. But you can imagine how this place smells. Like this little.
Oh yeah, and it's just a cloud. It's just a cloud as they walk in, and I love how both of them are just like non. Yeah,
what
both
is
of them are
this?
just
Clyde is just
nonchalant.
like,
It is our quarters.
It is our quarter.
What are you talking? Yeah. Usually.
But anyway, so they take them down to sickbay, and Claire's like, "Yeah, it turns out Mocklins, oh yeah, they are very susceptible to nicotine addiction, like really susceptible."
I love this scene. This shot is hilarious. They're both sitting on the bench. Their legs are dangling.
Yeah. Like 2 kids being told off. Yeah. And she's like, "Well, I can make something that can stop this problem, but it's going to take a couple hours to a couple days."
There's no case. There's no case use.
Yeah, you guys are going to have to basically go, you're going to have to go cold turkey and support each other. And they're already like grumpy. Like at this point, they're grumpy.
Certain foods have nicotine in them too.
Do they? I didn't know that.
Tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants.
Well, I know the tomatoes from Simpsons. They definitely had tobacco in them.
Tobacco, yeah.
The tomatoes. But anyway.
You know how hard it is to grow tomatoes?
Pretty hard. Where's that guy in the middle? He's annoying. But anyway.
Oh, the guy when they were trying to do the Pictionary here, and he was like, cereal man. Is it a cereal man? They're like, what the hell is a cereal man? Actually, I thought that this was kind of funny, but then you see like the like Mercer and all them and how like not into this they are.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, no, this has been fun, but now, did anybody look at this and instantly went Julius Caesar?
No,
I definitely.
But you know what? If I was to play charades or whatever they're playing here, Pictionary. Thank you. This drives me crazy. He's not doing anything new.
I look at it just like,
and she says something. She's
like, you stabbing it doesn't make it make more sense.
Write something else.
You have to draw something new. Actually, thought that was like funny, like more.
Because
like
I think everybody
Pictionary.
who's ever played Pictionary would definitely relate to that.
I like after when she's like, "That's a Caesar salad. The leaves are usually bigger," and he's like, "It's a Cobb salad." Well,
where's a Cobb salad?
To do with Julius Caesar.
But we see the 4 of them, and all of them are just like, "Why are we here? Like, this is not fun."
Hanging out with holograms, I think.
Yeah. And I like how they've hidden her ears.
Right.
The knit,
Maybe
the knit cap.
maybe that's why the simulator is always empty. Maybe people don't really like it all that much.
Yeah, maybe it sucks.
Or they find real life more engaging.
More interesting.
Yeah, because all of them are just like, this is boring as hell. Like, why are we here? And like, even Mercer, like, he's drinking a beer and he's still not happy. Like, he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And like, look at the looks on their faces as they're leaving. They're just like, oh god.
It's like 11 o'clock at night now. They wasted their evening.
Yeah. So, but anyway, they've been, they're all like, yeah, no, we'll have to deal with this later. And then the two of them are sitting, cuddling on the couch kind of thing. And I can't remember this conversation, but it was basically along.
She's afraid to fly, and then
that's right, the Jello.
He's like,
thing.
"Don't be afraid of the turbulence because it's like you're in a bowl of Jello, and the Jello moves, but you'll be okay."
Now, anybody who knows me knows I hate flying, and I'm telling you right now, I don't give a fuck if I have to think about Jello or not. It's still not going to help. I'm still going to think I'm going to die every time I hit turbulence.
So this speech didn't do anything.
This is not going to do any good.
Well, the Jello is also not going to work if you don't have your seatbelt on. So
true.
Safety first.
And on top of that, if Jello hits the ground, that would suck. And planes hitting the ground would suck too. So, what can you do? But anyway, yeah. So he's trying to she's like, how do I get rid of these jitters about this? And he's like, well, think about Jello, which I just thought was an absolutely stupid thing to talk about. But anyway, this part I absolutely didn't like. And then, of course, the two of them smooch a bit. And then we see next day, and apparently Gordon has got all freaky. That is probably why nobody uses these things, because they're like, who the hell cleans this up? That's the bigger problem.
And we know what Bortus likes to do in there. So.
Yeah, after Bortus uses it, they probably have to sterilize it for like a month. But anyway, the two of them wake up, but Gordon wakes up from hearing, I think is it Kelly that's
Kelly,
messaging? Yeah. And she's like, yeah, it's already past 8:30. You're late, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, crap. So he ends up ending the simulation, but because he's in bed, now I did like this. Because he was in bed and he ended the simulation, so he fell to the floor. Which kind of makes sense. We never saw that in anything else. But
you usually don't see that. It was also like he should kind of, I guess he just forgot, but it was kind of like, dude,
You think he would have stood up at least first or something, but anyway, what can you do?
Late for work.
Anyway, he's running late. He's trying to get dressed as many as he can. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I see him running down the hallway. He's got what appears to be civilian outfits on, and he's getting dressed. Like, you can see him doing up things and stuff. And then he runs, and now he's got this outfit. So did he go back to his quarters? And
he must have
this
quickly,
going?
he was undressed in the simulator. He had to put his clothes on partly through the corridor. But yeah, there's kind of a weird jump here where he picks up his
There is a weird jump. Yeah,
uniform.
They don't really explain why all of a sudden he has a uniform on, but I guess that makes sense. So anyway, he's like, yeah, really sorry, guys. And Kelly's like, yeah, no, don't let that happen again.
We're not running a cruise ship here.
Yeah, this isn't a cruise ship here. And he's like, yeah, okay, sorry. And this whole episode, Mercer is just unhappy. Like,
yeah,
maybe
he's
he
mostly in a
wants
bad
cigarette.
mood for most of this episode.
Yeah, maybe he wants a cigarette. Maybe that's the problem.
Or girlfriend.
Yeah, or a girlfriend. Yeah, that might help too. Oh yeah, good point. I never even thought of that. And then of course we start hearing a lot of chewing sounds, almost like a cow's on the bridge. It's not a cow. It's just Bortus, and he's currently chewing gum.
Bortus and colliding trying to quit smoking is even funnier than smoking. It's
absolutely,
like,
They call it gum.
They call it gum. Is it helping? No,
it is not. And then he just keeps chewing. That was. But you can't. You're trying whatever you can, basically, to not smoke.
Yeah, like look at I love his facial expressions for a guy who's wearing like a ton of like special effects makeup and stuff. He still manages to get the expressions pretty good.
So like in the future, nobody smokes tobacco, but do people still smoke weed?
They eat it.
They eat it. We know.
Actually, yes, they do, because in that episode where they're held in like the zoo, Kelly and Mercer, she does mention that she does say joint, so they must smoke it still.
Right. That would be my suggestion. Forget the gum. Just get some get a spliff.
Just go get some weed.
No nicotine, and you'll
imagine him and Clyden on weed though. That'd be amazing.
That could be funny.
You took the last Twinkie.
Oh, and they just start eating the ship.
They start eating parts of the
Yeah,
ship.
when Mocklins get the munchies, that could be funny.
That would be a problem. Yeah, for sure. So anyway, I can't remember this part.
Oh, he gets the phone call.
Oh, that's right. He gets a phone call while he's on the
Hey,
bridge.
how does this happen?
Well, they got Wi-Fi still.
He's got 2
Fine.
bars.
It's probably a Wi-Fi call. It's fine. He's got 2 bars. Yeah.
So
'cause
just
it's
let me.
on the
So the computer is calling him.
Yes,
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
because she's dead.
Yeah, she's been dead for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we see these guys and they're all kind of talking about this situation.
Well, this is
again.
where they're like talking about last night, and they don't even know. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
got a
like,
problem.
Yeah, this guy's nuts. Like, what's going on here? And then, of course, Gordon comes up. So, how do you feel about her? How do you like Laura? It's a good time, eh? Blah, blah, blah. They're like, yeah, no, you got a problem.
Is this healthy?
Real.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Is this a
Not real. It's
delusion?
just really healthy. And then he snaps at Mercer about something. I can't even remember what it was.
He's like, "Oh, you get to bang a krill lady, and I can't find love."
yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah, that's right. He says that. Yeah.
all
And
right.
then he's like, yeah, well, she was deceiving me. Blah blah blah.
There's a
Ed
difference.
starts talking about how she is real. Like he's full in on this simulation being real.
Sam wants to know: do people still vape in the? I don't think they do the vape where like people like pretend that like it's a competition and they do, like they blow smoke and stuff. I don't think they do that kind of vaping, but they probably still vape weed. That'd be my guess.
Probably not while they're on duty, though.
No, not while they're on duty. Just like taking phone calls on the bridge, you probably don't do that either, considering they don't have phones anymore.
Right.
So, but anyway, so at this point, yeah, he's kind of heartbroken by how Mercer's treating him, and he responds back to Mercer the same way, like just as bad. And then he kind of takes off, and then at this point, we see Bortus. He goes back into his quarters, and he's looking around, and he's like,
Where's Clyden?
Where's Clyden? And they're like, he's in airlock 2. And it's like, I don't think an airlock is the best place to be smoking. But like, don't they have like a stairwell or something that they can do this?
Well, I
in?
guess if you want that smoke not to get out, or
Yeah, I guess. That's
it's
one way
not
to do it.
it's not the safest place to go.
No, I don't. Well,
we just-
especially when you're using compressed gases and stuff, like it's probably not the best place in the world. So anyway, he walks over to the thing. He looks through the glass, and there he is. And I love the look on his face. He's just like, he just got caught, right? He's a toddler and he got caught, basically.
He looks like he's in a Hugh Hefner smoking jacket too. Did you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that?
Oh, no, was he? Hold on.
No, he's not, but it looks like it.
It
But
does
yeah.
look kind of like it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, so now they're back in the quarters again, and he's like, are you just hiding them everywhere? Are you keeping them from me? And he's like, you're hiding them too. Blah, blah, blah. And he starts looking around.
He finds one in the planter.
Yeah, he's like, where else are these?
Chad Coleman, the guy who plays Clyden, he is so good under that makeup with his expressions
Yeah.
and the eyes.
They
and the
both
stuff.
are. They both are phenomenal at it. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Even though obviously their alien race that they're representing isn't very expressive, but they really do a good job.
Him walking around, just grabbing each
Yeah, he's
one.
grabbing them like
staring at
out of the
him.
back of the frame, and I never noticed
Oh,
this
yeah.
before, but they got a picture of Mockless.
Yeah, a bunch of smokestacks and pollution. Like what a painting for Mockless.
What a great painting. And then he's like, he grabs the cushion and he starts dropping all these cigarettes out.
That he's hidden around in case he needs them.
Yeah. And then we see now. How do you feel about this shirt, Dave?
It's better. It's the best one he's had so far.
Okay, great. All right. So anyway, he's on his way now, and he's going back to her apartment. And this is where he runs into Greg. It's Greg, right? Or Craig?
Yep.
Greg.
No, it's Greg.
Greg.
You got it right the
You
first
got it.
time.
Hey, there you go, guys. Hey, as they say, the clock is broken clock is right twice.
Too bad we'll never see him again.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, so yeah, it turns out they're getting back together. She's like, well, I was going to message you. Like, she had no problem messaging him before, so I have no idea why it took so long for her to come to this prop. But anyway.
But the program's like she did get back together with him, so therefore this was the logical thing to do.
This
right?
was the right way to do it. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so he basically, pours the blues to Lamar. Lamar's like, yeah, no, it probably wasn't a great thing to begin with. Maybe.
I like how he's like, everyone's been dumped except for me. I've never been dumped. One time this lady's like, okay, like we're not together, but can we still have sex?
Yeah, he's like, they don't dump me. They just asked me to come over, and we still have sex.
Yeah, he says, I know how you feel, and Gordon's like, do you? He's like, no, not really, man.
No,
I've never been dumped.
Never been dumped.
But I can imagine.
Yeah,
I can imagine. And then he continues to drink. Now, how do you feel about this one, Dave?
it's better. He doesn't have that dumb sweater on, at least.
All right. So anyway,
Fine.
he's walking with intensity.
So this is the fourth time he's just walked up to the I don't know if this is bothering me, but he just walks in.
Just walks in again, and now we're at the
We're at Macy's.
At Macy's.
Well, she said she worked at Macy's, but the sign is definitely not Macy's, which I'm guessing is probably for a copyright thing. But anyway, he's like, yeah, blah blah blah. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna get a promotion, blah blah blah. And yeah, so here you go, Jayette.
Fayette.
Fayette? Is it Fayette?
I think it's meant to be.
Yeah,
an
it's
F.
probably an F. Yeah,
That's enough.
so
B.
all right.
Fayette.
B. Fayette. No idea what that means. But
It must be a clothing line.
I wonder if this is like a nod to Minuet.
Yes, it definitely is.
But anyway, it's got Ed on the end, but not the same. But anyway, so yeah, she's just kind of doing her job, and he's like, yeah, so, blah, 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 we should get together, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, I think I'm going to go, but, could we maybe go fly or something? That would be fun. Because, oh, no, he deletes Greg, right?
Yeah.
After
deletes-
this.
Is it? No, I think it's before this, isn't it?
Or is it before this?
It's before this. He's deleted
Yeah.
Greg.
He deleted
and
Greg, so now...
he's asking her about her music, and she has no idea what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
because it turns out Greg was the one that
Right.
encouraged her to become a singer. So, or at least tried to be a singer.
So it's a smarter twist on that delete the wife twist from the Fairhaven episode of Voyager.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Who that character is not based on a real person, but the idea that if you delete this aspect of her life, you change her who she is, right? So,
Exactly. So anyway, but she's like, yeah, I don't know which boyfriend I'm going with, but I guess I'll go with you. And he's like, oh, okay. So, but then he realizes that, he's like, oh, we can go and maybe both of us can go and sing. And she's like, what? I don't sing. I'm not going to sing, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, he's now looking back at the text messages and stuff. And he's like, yep, it was in there the whole time. What a fool I am. And then Kelly comes in and basically says, like, I get it. It hurts, but, oh, yeah. And then she does the one eye thing, which I thought was totally weird. But I'm glad she could do it. She does it both ways.
Ed taught her that.
Ed taught her that. And she goes, but I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't meet Ed. I would have never done it. So now I know I can do that. And he kind of gets it. You delete something out of somebody's life, obviously there's going to be repercussions. We learned this in Back to the Future and stuff. Like, I don't know why this is. They should have made a Back to the Future reference. That would have been better.
Like, we learned this in Back to the Future?
Yeah, you screw around with time, man. You're going to have problems.
But then you might get, Biff won't bully you anymore, and you'll have a much nicer house all of a sudden. And
Biff ended up having a casino, man.
well, in the
And
evil
he
timeline.
was beating Marty's mom and everything. Like,
But remember, like when he comes back at the end of the first movie, everything's better.
yeah, he's got a truck, and like the kids aren't losers, and
His parents are happy.
his parents are happy. Yeah, it was weird, but anyway. So anyway, now we go back to Clyde and Portis, and they're just picking down on something, and they're arguing over who took the last sauce. And they're like, "You put the last sauce on your thing," blah blah blah. And he's like, "Oh, you did it." But why don't they?
Meanwhile, the
just make
replicator's right behind them. They can make more. But
yeah,
Right.
I don't know what all these things are. This is some sort of weird moldy squash thing. This looks like a weird cupcake. There's like nuts here maybe, and some sort of weird cake. But anyway, and they're eating some sort of lobster-like creature or something. I don't know. But either way, it was still funny to see the two of them. Now I don't remember. Oh yeah, this is still where they're arguing about that. And then they start fighting.
no.
Beating the hell out of each other.
Clyde says, I can't take it anymore. I need to have a cigarette.
Yeah, and he goes to go for one, and then Bortus is like, "You're not going there," blah blah blah, and then the two of them fight. So they end up fighting, breaking the table, and they're fighting on the ground. And this is where Claire comes in to say, "Oh yeah, by the way, I have the solution to this." And the two of them are like just covered in crap.
I'm sure they had fun shooting this.
I bet it was. And they're like, "Who wants to be first?" And both of them are like, "Me." We don't want to fight anymore. So now we see Gordon again, and now he's in the club again, watching her perform, and he decides to go up on stage and sing. I'm not sure if that was his real voice, but it was not good one way or the other. They didn't harmonize very well.
I don't know that, but if it is, it was not good one way or the other. Like, we know
it was not good.
He does sing. We know he sings. So
yeah, we know he does sing. So, but I'm sure maybe Adam will have some sort of answer to that one later. But anyway, so the two of them do this kind of duet thing. Not really a duet; they're singing the exact same thing. But anyway, so the two of them get together, and there's Greg again. So obviously he's restored everything back with the program again.
Computer, restore Greg.
Yeah, they've restored Greg. And he basically says, "Oh, I took a job, flying. I'm going to be doing I'm going to be a test pilot. They tell me they might even get up to space." And she's like, "Wow, that's fascinating." And he's like, "Yeah, gotta go," basically. And they're like, "Oh, let's take one last picture. I'm gonna put this iPhone in the capsule next week. So we'll take a picture." So anyway, they take the picture, and that's the whole episode. So anyway. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know where we're at this.
You know what they should have done with that picture is that I haven't seen the episode with her in it later in season 3, so I don't know what happens. But they should have had him find that picture on her phone.
All of a sudden, it's now on the phone. Yeah,
that would be
and
weird.
not explained it
anyway,
in this episode, but then in that episode, that's when they took the picture.
It comes up, I think, in the other episode that she's in, but it's like a alternate universe kind of thing, in a way, in the other episodes. But you know what makes things even better? You know what, guys? Sometimes we don't have the episode we want, but the one thing we always want is fun facts with Adam.
Fun facts with Adam.
Oh boy, look at that reverb. All right. Anyway, Mr. Adam, what do you have for us today?
Okay, first of all, that song that Laura sings is "That's All I've Got to Say" was from the animated movie The Last Unicorn from 1982. I don't know this movie.
Either.
And I was
Kevin's being very silent, so he must know it. He probably has it on Blu-ray.
Nope, I do not.
Okay. So items from the time capsule include an iPhone, a bottle of 5-Hour Energy, a can of Coke, a CFL light bulb, 50 Shades of Grey from 20.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. An Adele item, a Snickers bar, a can of Spam. Has anybody eaten Spam here, guys? Like ever?
I have.
No.
Okay, me neither. Over-the-ear headphones, a bottle of nail polish, cigarettes, a USA Today newspaper, money, a tube of toothpaste, Purell hand sanitizer before the pandemic, a tube of sunscreen.
They knew.
A stethoscope, New York Yankees ball cap, regular glasses, sunglasses, a toy car, a Fitbit, a birthday card, a pair of flip-flops, X-Men Days of Future Past.
I was right.
Yeah.
I thought it was. Yeah.
A box of Oreos, a takeout pizza menu, a restaurant diner menu, a video game, a U.S. magazine, and then a small bottle of some sort of pills, perhaps diet pills or vitamins.
It's probably Oxy.
This isn't really a fun fact, and I'm actually making this one up, but why was Tim Russ there and the archaeologist there?
Oh, I think just to set why is this time capsule here sort of thing. And
but Adam's right. Why would it be with them? They would have found it on Earth. Why would they be taking it to Orville and then back again?
Exactly. That I didn't understand either. But Tim Russ, who played the historian, also played the Vulcan, of course, this Mr. Tuvok in Voyager. A terrorist in Starship Mine in 1993. Very good movie, by the way.
I love that. That was an episode, not a movie.
Pardon me. Sorry, I'm thinking about Enemy Mine. That was another movie.
That was a great episode, though. I love that episode.
A lieutenant in Star Trek Generations and a trooper in Spaceballs.
Yeah, he never did Enterprise.
He was in Spaceballs?
Yes, apparently.
Huh.
When Gordon told the program to delete the holograms, says everyone else is hooked up out here. It's my chance to hook up. Scott Grimes, who played Lieutenant Gordon Molina, had just announced the week before that he and Adrian Pilecki are engaged. So this is a
Yeah,
thing.
it didn't last though.
No.
I think they were married less than a year.
Gordon says he lost the bet when he simulated the people questioned his uniform, or when the simulated people questioned his uniform. It was the same excuse Picard used in The Big Goodbye, the first story where the holodeck was the primary setting. Gordon also refers to his outfit as pajamas, which is the impression people of 1893 had Data's uniform when he time traveled back in Time's Arrow. Lots of pajamas.
Seems to be a thing.
In Booby Trap, Geordi LaForge had also created a simulated person, Leia Brahms. And it led to emotional interactions, which was weird too.
He never got freaky though with her.
Which was weird too.
I don't even think they even kissed, did they?
Yeah, but he was really falling for her. I mean,
Geordi falls for everyone.
Yes.
Remember that chick that he was on the beach with?
Christy
That's right.
Christy Henshaw didn't work out.
Christy Henshaw didn't work out either.
Oh, that's when he gets really depressed about the whole thing, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
he
and
went
he's
on to have
never-
3 kids with somebody, so it will work out with Geordi LaForge. But
That's true. Yeah.
When Ed and Kelly are reading the USA Today, Ed mentions a coming major climate event, and yet there's an entire page on teeth whitening. Kelly wonders how the human race ever survived. Kelly's sentiment is somewhat similar to Dr. McCoy's in Star Trek 4, when he looks around at the crowded streets of San Francisco and says, it's a miracle these people got out of the 20th century.
kidney dialysis. What is this? The Dark Ages?
Doctor gave me a pill and saved me.
Exactly.
And I got a new kidney. That's right. Yeah.
Hello, computer.
What is this, a goddamn Spanish Inquisition?
Where are your nuclear weapons?
Wessels.
Wessels.
Oh,
Okay.
vengeance. That's right.
Similarity, theme movies include Time After Time, Somewhere in Time, Back to the Future Part 3, Kate and Leopold, The Time Traveler's Wife, and Jack Finney's novel Time and Again. Lots of time travel stuff.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yep. And I'll leave it here. The dog pictured on Laura's fireplace mantle is the same dog pictured appears in Gordon and Laura's fireplace mantle in season 3.
Oh,
Makes
really?
sense. Mhm.
Alrighty. I think I have our things here. All right, let's do it. All right, I think it's time for ratings, guys. What do you think?
Ratings. No.
No, I want reverb.
Oh.
Make this happen.
Ratings.
Oh wow, that was something.
I like it.
I did. That was powerful stuff right there. Anyway, all right. I guess we got to make this bigger. There we go. Okay, so how are we feeling about this, Adam?
I'm having a hard time with this one. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
7.5.
A solid 7.5.
All right, Dave.
10.
10?
What?
Dave.
Really? All right. Hey, the man has his own opinion. Even if it's
Oh, I want to know why. Like, what?
I give this a 7.
a 7. All right.
I just really like it. I think it's really creative in the concept. I think that the romance I think works for me mostly on screen. I think that they pay it back off in season 3. I think that the B storyline with Clyden and Bortus is hilarious. So I think that there's a good balance here.
I'm just I'm surprised when you rated Blood of Patriots only a 7.
Yeah, because this episode speaks to me way more than that episode. You know, it's counterintuitive for what I normally like, but yeah, this one I don't know. It just really I think is well done.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to do. You know what, the Clyden stuff with Bortus, that was top notch in my opinion. You know what? I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to give it an 8. No,
You can do it,
because
Jody.
It wasn't as good as Blood of Patriots. You know what? I'm going to do 7.5 as well.
Can you take mine down to 7 because I got to balance out Dave a little bit.
You don't have to.
I don't think you have to, but yeah, that's fine.
Well, that's a little too high for me.
We need once we get Murphy's votes in here, if we ever do, because I know Murphy does not care for this smoking angle too much. He's mentioned that in the past, so I'm sure he would not rate this as quite as high.
Yeah. So anyway, we rated this a combined average of 7.9, and the internet completely disagrees with us. This is an 8.8,
Not me.
Except for Dave. Dave actually went way overboard, but anyway, that's fine. With a combined average of 8.3, which actually makes it one of the better episodes of season 2. So take that for what you want, gentlemen. I don't think there's much more we can say about it.
Not according to us, too much. But...
Not to us, but to other people maybe, but not to us. But I know what you're thinking, Dave. You're thinking, hey, Jody, what's the next episode?
There's got to be something more than this, Jody.
There is. And funny enough, it is called Sanctuary, which is episode 12 of season 2. And that is Ed discovers the Mocklins aboard the Orville are harboring a secret. We don't know what the secret is, but we're going to find out next week. That's right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So anyway, but I think
There it is.
look
There's
at
that. Took me a second to get it.
We even have a card for it. All right.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that about wraps it up. Anybody got anything else to say about this episode?
I
Dave, do you
I feel
want to
like-
defend your 10?
I feel like I'm the outlier.
Your cord came out again or something?
Again, that is not a bad word, anybody.
Oh, there we
Everyone always looks at me like, outlier, what does that mean? I'm like, it just means I'm kind of separate from the group in terms of the
It's
consensus. But I really enjoyed this. But when I think of the Orville, this is one of the episodes my mind goes to. So
Really?
Okay.
yeah, so those are my final thoughts.
You know what? And you're welcome to them.
And I
All
like the
right.
idea of somebody finding my iPhone one day and creating a version of me in the future. I think that's the other part I like. So
For sex, right?
Just for sex.
whatever, you know.
You could be part of the Mocklin sex den.
No, I don't want to go to that program.
I'm sure they would find you very exotic.
Oh, they would find you exotic, Dave. And they'd be like, run for us, Dave. Run for us.
No. Okay, no. Maybe I'll have to rethink this if I put my iPhone in a time capsule.
Hey, you gave it a 10. All right.
You know,
Anyway.
guys, though, if they
Need
found
1,000
Dave's
votes.
iPhone, if they found Dave's iPhone, all you guys would be in it in those holodeck programs.
We'd be playing Pictionary.
I'd be fine with being part of the Mocklin sex den.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
I bet they're
All right.
loving people.
You'd be on like
Well, we'll all be dead. We won't know.
It won't matter.
Yeah.
So,
Dave takes a lot of pictures.
Mocklins would be so lucky.
yeah, Dave does take a lot of pictures, though.
Yeah.
But anyway, Dave, this isn't everything that we have on this channel. There's a lot
sir.
more stuff that you could do.
All
Such
kinds of great
as?
stuff. Such as, we cover many different things. We also do performative shows. Last night we were doing Star Trek Radio Theater. Enterprise. Remember that show, Jody?
I do remember that show.
We were doing an Enterprise episode, North Star, from the
I
third
try to
season.
forget this particular episode, but
Oh, it was great. We had Adam was in it. He was Lieutenant Reed, and he thought this was the best character he ever played.
really,
Yeah, he said.
I
that,
know how much he loves Lieutenant Reed.
Yeah, as we mentioned, Kevin was a bad guy, Bennings, and I was Archer. Archer was undercover, so I had to play an undercover Archer, who then comes out.
What's the difference between undercover Archer and normal Archer from a voice?
Undercover Archer was Southern, even though he was from the North.
God, this episode's terrible. But anyway, but that's not the only thing we do here, Dave.
No, we also have Lower Decks. We just the most recent episode of Star Trek Lower Decks was season 5, episode 6, called "Of Gods and Angles," and we'll be doing another one this Thursday.
There's only 3 more left.
Only 3 more left, yeah, in the season. So it's been
In
great.
the series.
Yeah, and the whole show. It's almost over, sadly. And we just covered something called 765874. Adam, Davin, and I. It was Unification. I don't know if you've watched that, Jody.
I have seen the short film. I didn't watch your review of it other than to figure out why the guy in the middle was annoying.
You might want to go check out the comment section.
I did check out the comment section, actually. That's the reason why I went back and watched part of it.
6,100 views as of today.
We're up to 6. It's our top rated video ever.
Nice.
Or not rated. No, not top rated. Top most viewed.
Most viewed, okay.
It's getting it. There's mixed reception.
Is it mostly due to the guy in the middle, or is it?
There's somebody, the middle guy.
Middle guy,
you know?
that middle
So-
guy. He's annoying.
He wouldn't shut up.
Wouldn't shut up.
He wouldn't just sit there and enjoy it. He had to analyze it.
Isn't that kind of what you were doing, though?
It's not that hard.
My own thoughts to that. I don't know if Kevin's seen it yet, but
I have.
Have you? My own thoughts to that is it was incredibly.
Careful, Jody. Careful.
Careful.
You know what? Maybe I shouldn't say anything.
Anything
not
other
gonna
than
be
high
careful.
praise.
Like,
I'm not
I
gonna
get
be
it.
careful.
I
It
get
was
why
bad.
people.
I didn't enjoy it at all.
It
I
was
didn't
not.
enjoy it
It
one
wasn't
bit.
entertaining.
One bit.
But well, it was neat to see like them try to do the technology. I think the face technology was terrible.
Yeah, it's
but
not ready yet.
It's not ready yet. But you know, it was. I understand why some people enjoyed it. Personally, I did not. That's where I'll keep it.
I enjoyed it. I was left wanting a little bit more, like, you know, some dialogue or something.
Dialogue.
What did it mean, Dave? I don't understand anything about it.
I understood a little bit.
I
about
understand the whole thing. I totally understand it. I still don't think it was necessary.
it. The best part of the comments is that everyone's like, "No, it was the afterlife. No, it was the Nexus. No, this is before. This is in the other dimension." And everyone's got like they know the answer, and I don't think anybody knows. So
I don't think you're supposed to know.
I don't think Shatner knows when he made it. So it's
Shatner's like, I'll
You know,
sign
you
up.
know.
I'll do it.
Who
Shatner's
cares?
95. He doesn't know too much anymore.
Yeah, he's like, is there a paycheck in it? Maybe.
maybe. Probably not.
Yeah.
No,
They're-
it was nice.
they're like,
as,
we have
I think it
catering.
I think it was Shatner saying goodbye to his friend who
Yes.
he never got to say goodbye
Simple.
to.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's
But
fine.
was it entertaining? Will I ever watch it again?
Do we
No.
need 9 minutes of it? No.
7
Well,
minutes and 44 seconds.
we were saying we're gonna do Star Trek Generations Radio Theater at the end of December, and we're
I'm
like,
all for that.
maybe we should add this scene onto the end.
No.
And then Ashley has to narrate it. Well, he
No.
looks at him, and then he looks back at him, and then, you know, so
The good news is for the last 8 minutes, none of us have to do anything other than actually.
right. Not even the actor, not even the guy playing Kirk would have to do anything.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. But I would definitely be in on that. I Generations gets a lot of hate.
I like it.
I'm okay with
I
it.
like it fine.
It's like my second favorite.
Except for when Picard's in the Nexus, parts of that are pretty stupid.
No, I love that. Papa.
Papa. Fuck off.
Papa, I love the doll, Papa. She's so beautiful.
He lives in the fucking 23rd century, and the guy fucking still has like, you know, Christmas like from Dickens, for Christ's sakes.
And it's the only Star Trek anything with any kind of mention of Christmas.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh.
Didn't Deep Space Nine mention Christmas at some point? I think they did.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'd have to ask Davin on that one.
I can't remember.
Davin would know.
Would he? Okay. So
But anyway. And of course, we have other channels as well as part of the Federation. Dave.
yeah, we all what do we got? X Rated's on tonight. They're talking X-Men Evolution.
I think they're on right now, aren't they?
Yeah, they were. We got the Hey, did you see this one, guys? They're doing their Nicolas Cage, stuck in a cage with Nicolas, Nicolas Cage movies over there. Steven and we also
I
have
hope
the,
they do the Wicker Man because that was an awesome movie.
Oh, I was on Trivial Debates yesterday. Starship Troopers theme with Jaemeel Robinson, Justin Velociraptor, and we had a host Shizumi there, Mike. So go check that out.
Yeah, I haven't watched
Everyone.
that yet. I got to watch that. So I want to
it
see
was-
how
it
bad
was-
you guys were wrong about things.
We were all wrong.
I should have been on that one.
Somebody had to win.
True.
Go find out. And Super Mario Brothers right now. We're covering Survivor.
They're brothers.
We are brothers. Yes, exactly. Do I have still have that on?
Well,
I've enjoyed your company as always, but it
That is
appears it is.
sometimes you see both of them at the same time.
It's a rare thing.
Some might say there's only actually one mater, and they switch places every so often.
Yeah, there's only one.
Yeah.
There can be only one.
Anyway, let's wrap this up. Any last parting words, anybody?
Hey, I'm loving this season of the Orville, and I'm always looking forward to Monday night. So good stuff.
And just so you know, Vulcan Rumble.
Royal Rumble, Vulcan.
He's here, just so you know. All right. Which we're glad he is. But at this point, it is time to say farewell, gentlemen.
Farewell. And drink water. Jaemeel Robinson would like you to.
Yes, water. It's the new drink.
It's in you.
It's everywhere.
You.
It's in you. Like Dave will be in the future when they replicate his cell phone.
All right, that's it.
That note. Goodbye.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. Tune in to X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show. Artistic interviews with graphic histories. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And movie reviews with Hold Up, a movie podcast. And while you're at it, spin a few records with Eamon on Track. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.